Well, live now to Canberra. This is where the Treasurer Josh Frydenberg and Assistant Minister for Treasury Zeta Selja holding a news conference. They've had a housing industry roundtable, so expect them to take aim at Labor's tax changes.
Under the Labor Party's policy, their rents will go up. The Master Builders Association says as a result of Labor's policy to abolish negative gearing as we know it and to increase capital gains tax by 50%, we will see 42,000 fewer homes being built and 32,000 jobs being lost. Australia has a $7 trillion residential housing market, with investors playing a significant role in that housing market. But Labor wants to change the rules. Even after Wayne Swan, when he was Treasurer of Australia, said it would be economically disastrous to change negative gearing. The reality is the Labor Party's policy is a mess. They can't even say when their policy will start. And Bill Shorten says prices will go down. Jim Chalmers says prices will go up. And poor old Joel Fitzgibbon says prices will neither go up nor down. The reality is there is deep concern across the community with Labor's new housing tax, and what we've seen in new figures released today is that many Australians aged between 45 and 59, over 500,000, who are actually planning for their retirement, will not only be hit by a retirees tax, but will actually be hit by Labor's new housing tax. This is the worst possible time for Labor's new housing tax, and there is deep concern across the key stakeholders of the industry. Zed?
Yeah, thank you, Treasurer. Look, there's no doubt that what we saw today was a message that reinforced the real downsides of Labor's housing tax. So, yes, if you're an investor, you'd be aware of the negative impacts if you're a mum and dad investor, but there are millions of renters and there are millions of homeowners for whom this is their only asset. The family home plays such an important role in people's security and whacking the housing market, and we heard a lot about the potential for a housing shock. Obviously, we have seen prices coming off their very high prices, and what we don't want to see is that further exacerbated through a really reckless policy that has significant flow-on effects for the broader economy. But I'll throw back to the Treasurer.
Thank you, Zed.
Can you explain why the government has backed up on the small business access to justice measures, and will you commit to a lower house vote on the payday lending bill before the election?
Before we get to that, any questions on negative gearing capital gains? And
Just a brief one. What specifically was the main concern that those people you just met with had about Labor's policy? What specifically was it?
Well, that this would actually hurt the housing market, that this would cost jobs, see fewer houses being built, and will be a real deterrent to investors, but also we'll see the property prices go down and we'll see rents going up. There was very strong messages that came through, and we all know that the family home for most people is their greatest asset that they will own. But under the Labor Party's policy, it will go down. This is a desperate tax grab, and it couldn't come at a worst possible time in the housing market.
Dwelling values are down 7
Sorry? Because the whole policy is designed to take investors out of the market, and when you take investors out of the market, you've got few buyers, and therefore prices are lower.
That's your policy at the moment too, through APRA, isn't it? To reduce the exposure of investors in the property market.
APRA have lifted their restrictions, and as the RBA said, Shane, APRA's interventions brought resilience to the market, but the Labor Party's policy is a permanent change. APRA's policies were targeted, they were time constrained, and they had the desired impact in bringing greater resilience to the property sector. The Labor Party's policy is permanent, and it's a desperate tax grab. And what we're really concerned about is the impact on a dramatic fall in housing prices on Australia's AAA credit rating, on the real economy. We know for so many small businesses, they borrow money from the bank off the value of their home. And if their home is worth less, their ability to support their small business will be much more difficult.
Well, dwelling values have fallen 7.7% over the last 12 months.
And higher in Sydney?
10.9% in Sydney. Are you saying
actually 12%, but that's all right.
Are you saying that that's had a macroeconomic effect under your policies, a direct impact on the economy?
Well, the impact on the economy has helped breed greater resilience. They're the words from the Reserve Bank. These were short-term, targeted interventions by APRA that have now been brought to an end. What the Labor Party is proposing is a desperate tax grab.
Sky News Extra 2 on our website if you'd like to keep watching.